So hello everyone, welcome to EduTab and welcome to this class. Students, this is going to be the third class of computer knowledge for NABARD Grade A 2025, and in this particular class we will focus on topic computer hardware. Again, another very important topic for your examination, so we will do that. But before that, students, right now if you're preparing for this examination and you are having any kind of doubt, so I would recommend you, rather than going online and looking for the answers, you can go for this one guidebook that is going to be one stop solution for all your doubts related to anything that you might have the question related to the syllabus, related to important topic, related to what should be your strategy if you're preparing for this examination. So if you guys have any doubt related to your exam profile, related to your job profile, you can get the answer in this guidebook. To download this guidebook for absolutely free, you can just go in the description box and check out the link. Now with this, let's start the class. So first in this class we will understand this topic, and afterward we will do 15 MCQs to have a hold on this topic. Okay, so first, what is hardware? So whenever we are talking about the computer hardware, this is basically the physical component of computer. You know, anything that you can touch and you can see in your computer is the computer hardware. And hardware is supported by the software, so it is like your bones and muscles, in fact you can say it is it is like your skin and blood is something you cannot see often. Okay, so it is software, and your skin you can see often, and that is going to be your hardware. Okay, so here you can see hardware is basically, when we talk about the input devices and output device. Usually whenever we talk about this, we think about only these two things. In input device we have keyboard, we have mouse, joystick, scanner, MICR, OMR, OCR. ठीक है, इनके बारे में we will study in this class. In output devices we have monitors, we have printers, we have speakers, projector, plotters. Okay, the important one we will cover here. But beside this, hardware also covers the computer port or the motherboard. Okay, so motherboard basically, in the CPU, all the hardware that we have talked about, they get connected to the motherboard. So it is the part of CPU. So in your CPU you first have the case. Okay, this is for understanding, I'm explaining you. So the case, the outside structure that you can touch, the outside metallic or plastic cover, that is the case, that is also computer hardware. Whenever we come to your CPU, in your CPU you have motherboard, you have heatsink, all these things are the computer hardware. Okay, in fact your RAM, a green rectangular structure it is, that is also a computer hardware, because you can touch, although it's related to the memory, so we have covered it, but yes, the physical component of it will be covered in the computer hardware. Okay, now here when we are talking about the motherboard, we have various components and various things to connect the components to the computer. Okay, so we have CPU socket. CPU socket, ultimately CPU is getting connected to the motherboard through the CPU socket. Then we have RAM slot. This will basically connect the RAM to the motherboard. Then we have BIOS or UEFI. So BIOS I have already explained you, and UEFI, that is the upgraded version of BIOS, that is basically to boot your computer or to start your computer. In the previous class I have explained basic input output system to you. Okay, then we have expansion slot. Expansion slots are basically in your CPU. Let's say you want to connect printer, let's say you want to connect mouse, you want to connect some SD card. So for all those things, they have, plug point, and they have various entry points. So to connect them we have the expansion slot. Okay, then we have ports. Ports are basically in motherboard, we have various port like structure through which we can connect a wire and we can connect various devices. If you are talking about the ports, we have the USB port, we have the HDMI port, we have the Ethernet port, and so on. Okay, then power connector, this is basically for the power supply. All right, these are the main ones that I have explained you. If we go in detail, we will see another ones. Okay, we have a list of long parts, and depending upon the models, these parts also change, but yes, the basic one are these that are important. Okay, so expanding on this, the port part is important, so let's cover some important ports for your examination. We have USB port. USB is universal serial bus. Now this particular port connect all the storage devices. At previous time we used to have serial ports, we used to have various type of ports. Okay, right now USB have replaced everything. So be it our mouse, be it our keyboard, be it our printer, Now these days we can connect them using the USB port. Then we have HDMI port. HDMI port is basically for the a high quality video and audio output. Okay, the M in the full form stands for multimedia, and multimedia because it connect multimedia devices to it. Then we have VGA. VGA is basically for the video signal. Okay, then we have the videographic array, it is basically, so it is for the video signal. Then we have the Ethernet. This is basically to connect to the internet. Net, you can understand this Ethernet. Okay, then we have audio jack. Audio jack, this is for mic and speaker. You must have seen in the old phones we used to have audio jack, 3.5 mm audio jack. Okay, so audio jack is basically for mic and speaker. Then thunderbolt or type C. Now this is for very high data transfer speed. Okay, now these days you must have seen type C to type C connections are coming, so that is what we are talking about. Okay, now the first we will talk about the input device, and input device may be first we will talk about the most important keyboard. Okay, this is one input devices that is absolutely necessary to feed our computer anything. All right, in a keyboard, when we are talking about, it is more important that you focus on the keys that you are getting. See, simple keyboard everybody have seen. Okay, so in your keyboard you first have alphanumeric key. Alpha means alphabet, numeric means number. So alphanumeric key is basically the left side of the keyboard, in which we have the alphabets, we have the numbers, and we also have the symbols. Star, hash, greater than, smaller than, question mark, all these signs. So these are also alphanumeric key. Okay, then we have the modifier key, under which we have the shift, control, alt grade, and function. Oh, sorry, command. Beside this, you can also add function, fn, not f function, fn. Okay, all these are known as modifier function. Why? Because when you press these keys with some other button, they will change the function of the key. Okay, they will change the function of the key. See, usually if you press S, you will see the word S being pressed, but when you press Control S, what will happen? The file will get saved. Okay, so that is a modifier key, because the function of S has been modified. Alright, then we have the function key. Now this is not function key, this is F1 to F12 keys, 12 keys that you get at very top. Now here, if you are talking about the function key F1 to F12, these keys are more connected to more connected to their computers, and they are more working in line with their operating system. How? See, in operating system, if the definition or if the function of F1 is decided to help, it will help. If it is decided to brighten up, so it will brighten up. In my PC, as you can see, it is for the airplane mode, so it will go in the airplane mode. It will not do, your computer might have some different function for F1, my computer might have some different function for F1. Okay, so their function differs. Then we have the toggle key. Toggle key is basically to on or off the function of specific keys, just like we have the caps lock. So what caps lock does? So when caps lock is on, or the light is on, all the keys, if we press alphabet, if we press, they will be in capital. But when it is off, the letter will be in the smaller case. Okay, not in the uppercase but the smaller case. Now what is happening here? We are controlling the function of cap key through the caps lock. Similarly, num lock is for the numbers at the very right. So you just get the numbers, so for that. So if you don't press number lock key beforehand, you will not be able to enter any data using those keys. Okay, so this is there. Then we also have scroll lock. Alright, then we have the navigation key. Navigation key is basically for moving the files, going up, going down, going home, going page. These kind of keys you also get in the navigation key or the keyboard. Then we have the numerical keyboard. Here we are talking about just the numbers, okay, numbers that we have at the very right. So unke liye we have the numeric keypad. Now students, one thing to focus here, I have not entered the work of escape key. Escape key. So what does escape key do? See, any command that you have given to computer, and computer has started to process, you want to cut the process in between, you want to abort the function. So what you can do, you can press escape key and the function will stop. Okay, so these are all the keys that we have that are important for your examination, so do focus on these keys. Next we have our pointing devices. So we have three pointing devices: mouse, joystick, and the trackball. So when we are talking about the mouse, basically we have a flat surface, over it we move the mouse. Okay, now although it's commonly used, but its static precision is lesser than the trackball. That means a little bit of sensitivity is low. Okay, then we have the joystick. Joystick is something like this, so it will provide the 3D control to over the device. However, if the precision or the pointing, like pointing or selecting menu, these kind of function are very low in joystick. That is why it is not optimum for application using pixel level precision. Wherever you need pixel level precision, don't use the joystick. Then we have the trackball. Now trackball में क्या होता है, देखो, if you have a limited space and you cannot spread your hands, or you cannot spread your device again and again, you cannot move it across the surface. So for that you can have the trackball, which is basically over a static function you have a moving ball. Okay, so it provide high level of function and useful for the application like CAD, arcade game and industrial design, due to its higher precision and higher control. Okay, then we have MICR, OCR and OMR. Okay, these are also input device. MICR, if you are talking about, this is magnetic ink character recognition. Now these devices are responsible for identifying magnetic ink. Where does this magnetic ink use? In the check. So in the bank, what you have in the bank, when you have check, here you will see some check number. At the very end of the check number you will see magnetic ink. Now this is a special type of ink used to make the check, and that confirms the authenticity of the check. If MICR is not able to detect magnetic ink, that means the note or the check might be fake. Okay, the check might be fake. So that is MICR. Okay, then we have OCR, optical character recognition. Now optical character recognition, what it does, you know this is the machine, and whenever you slide it over the text, it convert the text into the digital text, which is editable. Okay, so this is OCR. This is for scanning document and digitalization, and it's a handheld device, so it provide great control. Then we have OMR, optical mark recognition. Now optical mark recognition detect the mark on paper. Now in your examination you must have seen, you get the OMR sheet, and OMR sheet mein you have options, and wherever you mark or wherever you connect the OMR, optical mark recognition machine, it will read it and it will score the exam. Okay, so this make the process of checking the examination very 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 fast. Okay, so we have read about the MICR, OCR and OMR. With this, input devices are done. Let's move toward the output devices. Now in the output devices, the first one we are going to cover is the scanner. Now scanner, if you are talking about, we have sheet fed scanner, handheld scanner, flatbed scanner and the drum scanner. Alright, although we have one or two more, but yes, for examination this much is required, this much is more than enough. Alright, so when we are talking about the sheet fed scanner, this pulls in paper through a feeder or scanning, for scanning, and it is used for multiple single pages. Now sheet fed scanner mein what happen, this is like a scanner. Okay, and what you have to do, you will have to put the sheet there. Okay, you will have to put the sheet there and it will get scanned. Okay, so it's a structure like this, you will put the sheet there and it will get scanned. That is why it cannot work in the books, because books are binded from one side, it need to have a complete loose paper to scan. Then we have handheld scanner. Handheld scanner, you must have seen the barcode readers. Okay, so handheld scanner is like that. It's a handheld device, and when you rolled over the document get scanned. It provide great stability. However, distortion are there, and it is common for barcode reading, that I have already told you. Then we have the flatbed scanner. Now flatbed scanner, what happened? We have a panel like this, and over this we put the paper. Okay, and then we put the paper, it gets scanned, and then we remove it. Then we put the paper, it gets scanned, and then we remove it. So this is basically your flatbed scanner. Alright, next we have is drum scanner. Now drum scanner, what happened? It uses photo multiplier tube and extremely detailed scan for the transparent and reflective material. So the detailing here is very 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 good. Now how does it work? So drum scanner, a drum is there, over it we have the PMTs. Okay, your paper will, the scanner will move through your paper, the whole drum will move through your paper, it will scan it and it will give you the high end result. Okay, so this is the drum scanner. The next device is monitor. Monitor is basically to provide you the visual result. Okay, so I have already told you the data finally get converted into information. Now how that information will be conveyed to the user through the monitor will basically visualize you or give you result directly. Okay, so when we are talking about monitor, we have CRT, LED, OLED or LCD. When we are talking about the CRT monitor, these are basically the cathode ray monitor. Okay, they use basically a cathode ray tube. These are bulky, these used to be very heavy, and they also used to have a lot of power consumption. Okay, but the color rendering was good and the cost was very less in CRT monitor. Next we have is LED. Okay, light emitting diode. Now here what happened, the backlighting is done through the LED. There are different layer to the screen to make you visible, make you saw picture, but at the very end to lighten up the picture we have the LED, light emitting diode. Okay, the next we have is OLED. OLED or OLED, what it is? Now OLED or OLED basically uh, uses organic light emitting diode. So they are also using light emitting diode, but it is organic. Okay, so here the superior contrast, the contrast is high, the color is good, and it is self illuminating. Then we have LCD. LCD use basically liquid crystal and to manipulate the light. Okay, now here what happened with LCD, we are using liquid crystal. This point you will have to remember, this is energy efficient, very good resolution it provide, and it is relatively cost lesser than LED or OLED. Okay, now let's talk about printer. Now printers, when we are talking about printer, we have are of two type: impact printer and non-impact printer. Impact printer means something is getting impacted, and what is this something? The paper and the ink head. These basically get again and again, they hit the the pen that we have or the ink head that we have, that strikes the paper. So that is why these are very cheap, these are very noisy, and these are very slow to print. Okay, and that is why they have been replaced from the non-impact printer. So impact printer, when we are talking about, first we have is dot matrix. Dot matrix mein we have some pins, and the pins write like this. Okay, so here what happened, the paper, the pen, and it strike the ribbon. Okay, it is basically used to be used for bills and invoices. Then we have daisy wheel. Daisy wheel mein basically what happen, just like a daisy there are various petals. Okay, and in each petal what happen, some digits are written, some numbers or something is written, 6, 8, 9, all the digits are written. Now what will happen, this was the paper, and the the ink head will go, the ink is on the petal and it will move like this. Whenever the right word come, it will strike the paper, then whenever right word come, it will strike the paper. Okay, and this is how your daisy wheel works. Now this again was popular for the legal document. It's quite slow, the letter quality is not that great, and it's only text based. Okay, then we have line printer. Line printer is basically it is named line printer because it can print whole line in one go. In this particular line printer we also have chain printer. It is divided into chain printer and it is divided into drum printer. Drum printer again, in the drum you have the words written, and in chain printer you have the word written over the chain. Okay, it is fast impact printer and it is used for large data printing. Then there is type of non impact printer. Non impact printer mein basically we will cover two, the important one, the inkjet and the laser one. Okay, so inkjet basically they spray ink over the paper, no contact is there, just ink is getting sprayed. And laser mein laser plus toner power is used to create colors. Okay, that is why in inkjet the color for good photo, good for color photo, and and slow and affordable inkjet printer. Okay, of course it is slow because the ink need to be precisely dropped. Then laser printer, if you are talking about, these are very fast, these are very high quality. They are exclusively used in the offices and banks. Do remember this point. Okay, now let's begin with the questions. The very first question is, which of the following is not an example of computer hardware system? Okay, so you will have to tell which one is not a computer hardware. So here we have heard about the computer case, I have explained you. Motherboard we have read. Disk drive, can you touch the hard disk drive, can you see it? The answer is yes. But can you see device driver, which is a type of software? The answer is no. So the correct answer will be option D. The next question is, which of the following is not an input device? Keyboard, scanner, joystick, plotter or MIC? So here only option D, that is plotter, is not an input device, it's an output device, and it is basically used, it's a big printer. Okay, you can think of it as a big printer that is used to print maps, that is used to print the topography and these kinds of things. Okay, then HDMI port is used for which of the following? So if you remember what M stands for, you will be able to answer very easily that HDMI port is used to create high quality audio and video. Okay, then dot matrix is a type of what? Non impact printer, 3D printer, laser printer, inkjet printer, or impact printer. The correct answer here will be option E, impact printer. Dot matrix, basically, again I have told you, it the things are written like this. Okay, so here we have the impact printer dot matrix में. Which of the following group of key temporarily modifies the normal action of another key when pressed together? Very easily from the name itself you can understand the correct answer will be option B, that is modifier key. Okay, next. Which of the following pointing devices is best suited for environments where desk space is limited and precise control is required? So here you will have to tell in this particular situation what can we use. The correct answer of course here will be option C, that is trackball. Alright, moving to the next question. Which type of scanner is most appropriate for scanning thick documents such as a book, magazine with high accuracy and resolution? Sheet fed scanner, handheld scanner, flatbed scanner, or the drum scanner? The correct answer here would be option C, that is flatbed scanner, because you can turn the book and you can scan it. Turn the book, you can scan it. Okay. Now, which type of monitor uses liquid crystal to display images and is known for being lightweight and energy efficient, making it a popular choice for modern day computing? The correct answer here would be option E, because we are talking about the liquid. Okay, so sorry, option D, because we are talking about the liquid, and LCD is liquid crystal display. Okay, so option D will be the correct answer. 9. Which type of printer operates by physically striking an ink ribbon onto the paper and is best suited for printing multi-part form? So which printer, basically different type of printer we have also heard. So if you want to print the carbon copies, so for that what you can use? The correct answer here would be option C, that is dot matrix printer. Okay, now which of the following input devices is most commonly used for translating written text into the digital format for processing in computer? Scanner, mouse, microphone, digital, and HDD. We all know microphone is related to audio, and digital camera is related to both audio and video. But yes, the mouse, if you are talking about, it's a type of input device. Okay, it's a type of input device that is not responsible in any way for the text. Then we have the scanner. Now what does scanner do? It create copy, or it create digital copy of your physical document. And similarly this kind of language is used, and the correct answer here will be option A, sorry, scanner. Okay, option A, scanner. Now USB stands for what? A very direct, very easy question. If these kind of question you can do in exam, do, otherwise move on. Okay, so USB stand for universal serial bus. All right, touch screen is what? Input device, output device, storage device, both A and B, and A, B, and C. So you can take your time, you can think very well, you can pause the video, think about the touch screen. In meanwhile, the correct answer here would be option D, that is both A and B. Okay, then MICR is most useful for uh, check processing, grocery shopping, exams, data entry, voting machine. So MICR, magnetic ink character recognition. So here the correct answer would be option number A, that is check processing. Now, print quality is measured in. I know I have not explained it, but yes, you can get these kind of questions. That is why it was included. Okay, so the print quality is measured in dot per inch, that is DPI. Option B will be the correct answer. Now, which of the following output device require frequent calibration? Which of the following output device required frequent calibration? So a little bit of difference disrupt the printing, so you will have to recalibrate it. The correct answer would be option A, that is scanner. Scanner needs recalibration. Okay, so with this we have covered all 15 questions, students. Now if you're preparing for this examination, let me show you what EduTap is offering. Okay, so here we have our test series, here we have our live crash course that is going on. So if you're somebody preparing for this examination but you're doubtful whether the preparation I'm doing will be enough or not, preparing in the right direction or not, my revision is not or all correct or not, so that you can test with the help of the test series, where you get test for solved PYQs, for chapter wise, for sectional tests, and for full length tests. On the other hand, in live classes, beside this, these things you will also get, but beside this you also get live classes daily. Okay, you also get solved PYQs, and that will help you to cover the syllabus holistically. Okay, so students, if you want to enroll, just use the code NABARD72 and enroll. Okay, you can find the link of this particular page in your description box. Do check it out. Now, if we are talking about the computer, thank you so much. With this, we have covered all 15 questions along with the topic. I would request you, please, whatever you have scored today, do write that in the comment box. If you guys have any doubt related to computer, do ask it, and we'll meet in next class.